that was kind of weird. It's actually from a game, and I have to agree, the translation is just kind of off. But what does it mean? Alright, but really though, that's from a game called Ikaruga. I'll go get the case. I'll be right back. Where is it? Oh, here we go. Those sayings are from this, Ikaruga. It was a shoot-'em-up game that was originally in Japanese arcades, but its first English release was on the Nintendo Gamecube, which you can see I have right here. It is widely considered to be one of the best shoot-'em-up games of all time, and honestly, I kind of have to agree there. It really is that good, despite all those silly sayings at the beginning of every stage. But would you believe me if I said that there was another? See, the GameCube obviously didn't get a whole lot of third-party support, and the shoot-'em-up genre was starting to die out around this time. Ikaruga, as a result, was the only bullet hell game that people remember for the console, which, if you ask me, is kind of unfortunate because there's another one that I think deserves at least a little recognition. That game is Chaos Field. Now, I'm a little reluctant to believe that it actually exists because I haven't seen anybody talk about this game. It did get ported to the Wii along with some other games by the same developers, but Ikaruga's shadow is just so large that nobody really cares about this game. But not anymore. I'm here to give this game a little recognition, so why don't we dive in and take a quick look at it.
So, jumping right into the game, I'm impressed. We've got a killer intro cutscene that has some stellar music behind it. Gotta admit, I'm pretty excited to play this game. On to the main menu, and can't believe my eyes. Alright, this might take a while to explain. Okay, so you know how sometimes really old games have pretty simple menus? This is most common in arcade ports, but it'll usually be a very simplistic yet stylized main menu with little or no music. Other examples that come to my mind are Crazy Taxi and Ikaruga. I don't know why, but this kind of menu style is just awesome to me. It gets straight to the point. You're here for a game, not some flashy menu. All the modes and options are right here for you to mess with. You can boot up a run and get right into the action. Plus, this background image is just so cool looking. That, combined with that sleek font... Sorry, I'll stop gushing over the menu. Kinda silly, honestly. Anyways, there are two modes available to us, arcade mode and original mode, and I think this is a good time to show off one of this game's gimmicks. See, for the most part, Chaos Field cuts out all the little guys, the grunts, the drones, the normal enemies, and makes itself unique by focusing on the often-loved bosses of shoot-'em-up games. Chaos Field is basically a boss rush, in that once you beat one boss, it instantly transitions on to the next one, and it's worth mentioning that each stage has multiple bosses. Basically, the developers decided to cut out all the normal enemies to make room for more bosses, and I love it for that. Each boss is so unique and has different attack patterns as well as different strategies to defeat them. So anyways, the difference between arcade mode and original mode is that original mode actually does put one or two small waves of normal enemies for you to take down in between each boss. It doesn't make it any harder, it's just a small little addition to let you change things up if you want. I think this is something new to the Gamecube version, since it's actually a port of a Dreamcast game. No matter which mode you choose, the one with the small enemies or not, the focus here is clearly on the bosses. Both modes are very similar in that aspect. Anyhow, we've gotten sidetracked. Let's just go into the normal mode without the extra enemies and play the game. As soon as I press start, boom, it takes you to a character select screen, and oh boy. Looks like my character trope sensors are going off. So, our three characters here are in direct violation of a specific trope. First is Hal, the angsty teen boy who is a skilled fighter. Next is Ifumi, who is in violation of being the token waifu character, also known as the pretty girl who is in the game just because why not? And finally, Jin, who is the mysterious older dude with a shadowy past. As funny as it is to see these tropes we're so used to, I honestly have to admit I'm a bit impressed a game like this went out of its way to flesh out some of its characters and provide at least a little backstory. Not to mention, all three of these characters actually have a completely different way of playing the game, since all of their ships have completely unique attacks. Hal has a pretty standard bullet spread, a cone-shaped missile range, and a deployable shield that blocks bullets. Ifumi has a set of lasers that snap to nearby enemy parts, a circular distant missile range, and a set of projectiles that rotate around her, blocking bullets. Finally, Jin has a shotgun-like blast that spits clusters of energy in a short area in front of him. He also has two sweeping missile ranges and a set of bat symbol boomerang things that help block bullets. And speaking of blocking bullets, each character also has a set of swords attached to their wings that can swing forward and wipe away the bullets in front of them. They kinda look like windshield wipers. Finally, they're each equipped with the ability to switch between the order field and the chaos field. This is where the title comes in. Oh yeah. The order field is much easier, with the enemies shooting less and dropping more items to charge up your special attacks. Switch over to the chaos field and the game becomes much harder. Enemies shoot more and sometimes they even change forms altogether. However, you also become more powerful with larger, more damaging bullets, wider bullet blocking ranges, and the ability for your missiles to lock on to bullets. All this emphasis on blocking bullets may seem strange, but let me explain. The way the scoring works, you gain combo score and multiplier for everything you lock onto and every bullet you block, not with your sword, but with your special blocking attack. Basically, the ability for you to lock onto bullets in the chaos field and your wider bullet blocking ranges gives you more fodder for your combo score. The general strategy is to gain charge for your special attacks in the order field, then switch over to the chaos field to rack up all the points you can before needing to switch back. Of course, it's totally fine for you to stay in the order field. Actually, I recommend it for when you start out, since this game is brutal, even in the order field. These pink bullets can't be swiped away, locked onto, or anything, only avoided. Also, some of the bullet patterns leave only a sliver for you to slip through, not to mention the unpredictability that comes with every enemy being a boss. It sure ain't easy, but it is so rewarding when you finally manage to get further than you did the last time. Don't worry if you're bad though, because after certain amounts of hours of playtime, you'll unlock more continues to help you get through to the end. So, practice gives you more options. I've actually had this game for several years now, and only while recording for this video did I finally manage to reach the ending. I have a soft spot for shoot-'em-up game endings, so I won't show it here, but it's not anything super exciting. Just look it up if you feel so inclined. Whether the ending was kinda dull or not doesn't matter. I still felt a huge rush of achievement having finally beaten that last boss that gave me so much trouble. That sense of reward and accomplishment is why I love shoot-'em-up games. Now that we've finally beaten the game though, what else is there to do? Just let it sit on the shelf and look pretty? Well, no. As I mentioned before, there's a pretty in-depth scoring system based on missile lock-ons and bullet blocking. The scores can go to infinity and beyond, and nothing, absolutely nothing, feels better than keeping a tremendous combo growing even bigger. Not even taking a warm shower after a long day. Combos are even more refreshing. Try them sometime, I'm telling you. Combos, man. If you enjoy score-based games, shoot-'em-up games, or brutally difficult games, Chaos Field will be right up your alley. It's relatively cheap, and it got a few ports to the PlayStation 2 and Wii. I can't recommend this game enough. Nothing can hold a candle to Ikaruga, true, but this game is fantastic in its own right, and it deserves another look from the community, in my opinion. I must thank you for sticking to the end, but before you go, I gotta say that if you enjoyed the background music from this video, it was from none other than Chaos Field, so instead of gushing over the music like I always do, I thought I'd just let you, the viewer, decide whether it was good or not. I really do like it a lot, though. If you want more, please have a poke around my channel. The videos you see here are my better, more recent videos, so I think you'd enjoy these especially. As for me, well, I'm going to university, so we'll peg my absence on that. In January, I'm planning on studying in Japan for the semester to work on game development and the Japanese language, and while I'm there, I'd really like to make a video or two. There are definitely some region-exclusive things I want to get while I'm there, and some of them would make for a good review. But that's still a ways away. For now, let's just enjoy life or something. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.